to the Stitching Ewe and More podcast. I'm Amanda, your host, also known as Little Panda 518. I would like to thank the returning viewers for coming back and watching me. And if you're new catching me this week, thanks for trying me out and sticking around. I had all intentions to record last weekend, and then life kind of got crazy and I forgot that we had plans, and so I wasn't home much of the weekend. And then, as you can probably tell, I still sound a little bit terrible because I spent the last week sicker than a dog. So I haven't had a voice 3 days this week. I'm just kind of getting back to where I'm not as congested, but you can probably hear it in my voice that I still am a little congested. So if I cough, I apologize. I'm going to try not to. I apologize for the funny sounding voice, but I was super excited to sit down and talk with all y'all today. And one more apology, it is a Sunday. It is October, handy dandy calculator because I can't remember. It is Sunday, October 11th. So that means that there's also football on in the other room. So I've asked him kindly to kind of keep it down. So hopefully you won't hear yelling from the other room about football. But no guarantees. Let's see, I have so much to go over with y'all. A lot has happened since I talked with y'all last. Last episode was kind of quickly put together and it was quick. I was really hoping that it would be a little bit longer, but circumstances didn't allow that. But anywho, let's see. I don't even know where to start today, y'all. I have a massive pile of stuff. So, well, first of all, I forgot to mention, because I've been terrible about this, this is episode 21 of the podcast. So my podcast is now legal to drink, if you get the reference. My fellow podcast friends and VKNers will understand that. Thank you, Jen, for bringing the amazing game about. I will just let y'all play. If you don't know what the game is, go check out Jen's podcast. She is Stormcoast on Ravelry, and her podcast is The Uncreative Crafter. So let's see, I guess I should start with finished objects because I've got quite a few, which is a little strange for me. So the first one I'm going to start with, I suppose, will be my cup cozy, which of course has cat hair in it because it's been sitting on my coffee table. I don't know if y'all will recognize, I put it on a coffee cup to show y'all better. This is your one and only, my handspun, my first handspun ever, and I don't think it turned out too shabby to be in the fancy cup cozy. So the reason I knit this cup cozy is because I am participating in the Down Cellar Studio Pigskin Party, and for the month of September, the interception was to make something with the number 12 in it, because 12 is the quarterback of the Patriots. I believe it's Tom Brady, possibly. Not really my team, I don't really follow them a whole lot, but I think it's Tom Brady. So this pattern had a 12-row repeat, so that got me wonderful points for the pigskin party. So that is FO number 1. FO number 2 is this fantastic thing, which I'll put it on here in just a second after you see. Oh, I actually have really good lighting today. So this is the Barley Hat by Tin Can Knits. It's part of their Simple collection, and the yarn is amazing handspun done by the one and only Love Knots, Rachel, who is my best friend on the entire planet. So I always feel honored to knit with her stuff. So I'll see if I can get this put on all cute. So I love how it turned out. The awesome garter stitch section. And it even looks amazing in the stockinette. So this was also part of the interception challenge because I believe it was, I have 6 rows of ribbing, so 6 times 2 equals 12. Haha! Work the 12 in there. So this was also my interception project. And I kind of got, I blame Lynn from Two Tangled Skeins. She's the one that got me on the Barley Hat. So of course, not only could I knit one, I had to knit a second one. So this was out of a little bit of a bulkier hand spun from Rachel, of course, because she has fantastic homespun or hand spun. So I have this one going on. It's this one's not as slouchy. If I slouch down, you can see it kind of fits my head, just covers my ears. And both of these are going to match my winter coat fantastically because my winter coat is gray. And you know, one of these days the weather may decide that cold weather's coming. It's in October. Let me fix my hair since that's a little bit crazy going on. It's October, y'all, and we still have our air on. Yeah, one day last week it was like low 90s still. When is fall coming? Please tell me when. I am enjoying it supposedly being like pseudo fall because all the pumpkin everything is back, which is fantastic. I just finished a pumpkin spice cappuccino. It was pretty lovely, and I think once I get done talking with y'all, because I know my throat will probably be back to bothering me, I'm gonna go have some, I think I have some pumpkin spice kind of tea in the cabinet, so I think I'm gonna go dig that out and enjoy a fantastic cup of hot tea. So I think, oh, I did have another FO, but it was kind of an FO, and then it kind of got frogged the same day. Yeah, so you know that beautiful yarn, which I didn't bring it in, but if you've watched past episodes, it was the blue herring yarn. It was a round metallic, it was sparkly, it was rainbowy colors. It looked fantastic. It was fantastic to work with. So I finally cast on the silver with it because I've been talking about casting that shawl on for quite some time now. And I cast it on, and this is when you should not knit when you're sick or like coming down with getting sick. Or my head just wasn't in the right place to be knitting last week, like patterns I actually had to follow. So I made it, you know, probably into the third ridge row because it's a free pattern on Rav, so I'm not giving anything away, but it's like a stockinette section and then a ridge section, and it just kind of, you start with the first ridge section is 1 ridge, and then it goes stockinette and then 2 ridge, so it just kind of goes on up to 5. Well, I followed the pattern, like reading it through about the 3rd ridge row, and then you know you get, oh, I know this. I don't have to refer back to the pattern. Yeah, lesson learned on that. I totally missed one of the increase rows in the ridge section, and I didn't realize it until I was all the way done. Like, I was flying through this thing, thought it was gonna be fantastic, and I was kind of joking with Sue from Two Tangled Skeins that I was gonna, she ran out of yarn and was having to track down some more yarn, and I was joking with her that, oh, I'm gonna cast on and get done before you get your yarn, because hers has been on the needles for a little while. Yeah. I finished it, but it was absolutely terrible, and it was not big enough because I didn't increase enough, and I didn't like it. If I remember, I did take a picture of it before I frogged it. I think we were joking on a VKN that it was looking more like a stingray than a shawl, so it definitely got frogged. I do want to knit the silver. I will take time to actually refer back to the pattern and make sure I don't screw it up this next time. I may use the same yarn, I may choose a different yarn, I don't know, haven't decided that, but I do want the silver shawl. It will be knit eventually. So yeah, I had 4 FOs, I just only have 3 to show y'all since I frogged one. But at least, you know, it's good yarn, it frogged really well, knit up very well, and I just get to enjoy it a little bit more. So, no harm, no foul, right? Alrighty, so I guess we're on to my whips. So I have a fun whip, which I have half of it finished, and it doesn't really fit my sock blocker. So I am knitting this pair of socks for my friend Lisa. She lives in New York, and she's a pretty important person to me and in my life, she is definitely knit worthy. I crocheted her a hat before, but she saw some socks on Facebook and really liked them, and so I talked with her, and voila, she's getting socks. So, ooh, I love that you can see that coloring. I love that I have sock blockers. Like, I actually feel like an actual podcaster now. I only have one, but I will eventually get a second one. But this is Patton's Kroy Special Effects, and I did bring, I think, the label. Yes. I really was not prepared. That's not the right label. I really should clean out project bags. This is in the Cascade Colors colorway. So, yeah, it's Patton's Kroy Socks FX. Pretty sure I got this one at Michael's. And this project is hanging out in my bag from Two Tangled Skein because Sue is amazing. More on that later. So, they're hanging out in this bag. I don't have the second one cast on yet because, like I said earlier, I'm part of the pigskin party. And I'm also part of the Harry Potter cow that Loops is doing. Oh, excuse me. And in the month of October, the challenge is I got sorted by the Sorting Hat into Gryffindor house. So I needed to make a project that's related to my house in some way. So since I'm in Gryffindor, it kind of leads into my next project. So I cast on another pair of Hermione socks. If y'all have been following me for a while, you will know I have knit one pair of the Hermione socks before, but those went to my sister as her graduation present. Words, I have them. They went to my sister as her graduation present for getting her bachelor's degree to be an RN. So I haven't had a pair yet, so I cast these on for myself. Oops. There we go. I put it on my foot last night and didn't want to take it off. So this one fits my sock blockers since I bought the sock blockers to actually be my size. So I love this pattern. It's absolutely mindless for me. I can sit and talk on the VKN and just kind of whip this out. To be honest, I cast on and knit 3 rows Thursday night. And then Friday at lunch, I worked on the sock. And then I Kitchenered it last night. So a sock in pretty much less than 48 hours. I was quite pleased with myself because I haven't done that before. But I love how this pattern is just popping in this yarn. So it's not really a pattern of any sorts. It's my typical 64 stitch sock. I did the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, and I just did a Kitchener toe. On my gummy bear socks, that's the other thing I finished since y'all saw me, but I left them in the other room. I finished my gummy bear socks, so that was another FO. And those were my first toe up socks. I'm pretty sure you saw most of one of the socks last time, and I've worn them to work quite a few times because I love them. And I didn't really enjoy the toe up, and I think the problem is I didn't like the bind off that I used. I may give them another chance, give toe up socks another chance, but call me crazy, but I would take Kitchenering a toe over binding off the cuff of a sock any day. So this yarn is Lena Grossa. It's German or something, so I can't say the other word that's part of it, but it is 42% cotton, 45% wool, and then the rest is nylon. So it's going to be a workhorse yarn. It's knit on a size US 1, which, hang on, I believe that is a 2.25 millimeter. See, Lynn and Sue, I can do it too. Okay, I may be goofy because I still on cold meds. Let's see. I do have this second one cast on, just barely. I'm into the cuff. And I still have quite a bit of yarn left, and it's hanging out in my handy dandy Yarn It that is the best thing in the world. And of course I personalized it with all of my stickers. So it's I've been doing a lot of knitting during football, so I'll go back out after I get this edited and watch football probably the rest of the night and knit more on my socks. So I have that cast on. I will eventually, once I get that sock cast on, I'm going to cast on the mate for this so I can get these mailed up north before like the snow slams them, because they may actually have a winter compared to me. So we have that going on. I know I have, yes, I have another project. This one, I don't really have a whole lot to show. Really, there's nothing to show besides a cast on. Because after I cast on, well, I was actually reading through the pattern, and then I was like, oh yeah, it calls for size 3, and I'm like, okay, I have those. So I cast on, and then I realized it calls for a 60-inch cable. So I cast on, and I think I'm just gonna go as far as I can, and then I apparently need to go out and buy a set of needles. So this is also part of stash enhancement, because this week, or last week possibly, since the last time I recorded, Sue from the Two Tangled Skeins gifted me the Virgie clay pattern. It's a shawl that I've been wanting to knit since Sarah Stevens from O Loops released it. I believe it's in homage to her grandmother, I believe, and her name was Virgie Clay. This is a project that's going to be over 1,000 yards for the shawl, so that will give me blitz points for the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party. So blitz points is 500 points, which I am super excited for. So I have until February to finish this, but I really want to work on it, but I'm trying to get October challenge done first, and I need to cast on a Voodoo You Love Me doll, because that is an extra credit project for the Harry Potter cowl, and I can also use it as an interception for October for the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party. So lots of points and different cowls. So yeah, I need to get my butt moving to finish one pair of socks and then knit a toy and then get back to my friend's socks, and then I can kind of get back on Virgie Clay. But I at least have it cast on. I wanted to at least get that far. I'm trying to think. I still have my Viajante, or Viajante, I believe is how it's supposed to be pronounced. It's kind of in hibernation because it's not going to get me points for the Pigskin Party. So it's going to sit on the back burner until probably February. Yeah. Or unless I get kind of some whim and want to work on it, but it's going to sit in hibernation for a little while. So I think that is all that I have for faux and whips and a little bit of upcoming projects. So this is kind of the part where I suggest you have your tea or your coffee or your beverage of choice and sit back and relax, because we are entering stash enhancement. And I unbelievably have a huge amount to show you since I last recorded. Oh, I apologize. If you have headphones, I'm really sorry. So every Saturday I venture out to knit group in the morning, and one of the amazing ladies was working on going through and kind of decluttering her house, and she found some knitting books that she no longer wanted to hang on to. So she brought them to knit group, so what better place to kind of send them out to other homes. So I have 4 new books, which I think is just going to be awesome for my bookshelf. So the first one is Elizabeth Zimmerman's Knitter Almanac, and I wanted this one just because it's Elizabeth Zimmerman. So, and I think it'll be a good read because it's not just patterns, but there's also like, there's a decent amount of kind of reading throughout the book, so I may just kind of venture through there. Then I have, oops, which it's a little bit wet because my cats decided to spill my water when I wasn't paying attention. Little gremlins they are. The next one that I got from her is Mason Dixon Knitting, The Curious Knitter's Guide, Stories, Patterns, Advice, Opinions, Questions, Answers, Jokes, and Pictures. So I thought that was pretty entertaining. I kind of glanced through here and there's some pretty awesome projects. So, you know, when I have time, I may pick this up and knit a few things. I was going to kind of flip through and see if I could show you the one that I was thinking about right off the bat. And of course, it's not going to come up. Well, anywho, it's going to be an awesome book. And then, if you have little ones watching the screen that can read, you may want to have them turn around for the next few minutes. So the next one I have is Stitch and Bitch Nation, which it's just a cool title and I really wanted it. And there's quite a few awesome things in here as well, which I love the tea cozies that have, they're for the tea kettles, so it's like an 8-ball. Oh, I need to go this way. And then this one, it says coffee, tea, or me, which I think is absolutely adorable. So yeah, this book has some awesome stuff in it too. It's an amazing addition to my bookshelf, which I haven't had a chance to fully go through this one, but there's just glancing through it, I know there's going to be a couple projects I want to make out of here. And now the next book that I'm going to share with y'all, it's going to come with a warning. I think it's absolutely amazing, and the ladies on the VKN, we were having a hell of a time with it. It's called Naughty Needles, Sexy Saucy Knits for the Bedroom and Beyond. So, little pinup girl on the front. I'm not going to absolutely show some patterns out of here. I will just let you use the title and just kind of think about what's in the book. You can look up some of the pictures of the patterns on Ravelry. If you blush easily, it's not a very good book to look through. I do want to show one picture of a pattern because it's my most favorite thing out of here, and it has more than one use. There we go. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to show the picture of it. I'm not going to show the name, but I think it's hilarious, and I'm pretty sure I'll be making some of those. So those are my books. The next one, I apologize for the crinkle. I'll try to do it quickly for those with headphones. Okay, crinkle's all done. So, like I said earlier, I'm part of the Harry Potter Cal, and I only had a chance to be part of that because of one amazing friend who I'm pretty sure wants to stay anonymous, but they know who they are. And I am incredibly thankful because she bought the yarn for me so I can participate. Because with the O-Loops Harry Potter Cal, you had to purchase a skein of yarn in order to participate in the Cal. And at the time, I wasn't able to do so, but I did want to participate. So she definitely is an amazing person. So this is the O-Loops Remember to Turn on the Light colorway, which if you don't know, that is a Dumbledore reference, which this yarn is absolutely amazing. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I want to knit. I did purchase the Dobby sock pattern from, I believe that was Sarah Stevens' pattern. So these may come into being the Dobby socks. So we got that. And this, the little bag that it came with is called the Divination bag. From Professor, I always mess up her name, but it's Trelawney, possibly. And she read your tea leaves to see your future. And so there was a little package of tea, which I think I didn't put back in here. I already gave it to my husband because it was Earl Grey tea and that's his favorite tea. So yeah, I didn't put it back in here, but there was tea, and then it gave me the papers to tell me where I will be sorted in November and December, because this year for their Cal, each month you change to be a different thing. So as those months come, I will tell you where I was sorted into. But for now, I'm in the Gryffindor house. And let's see. This was what I was super excited about. I have my acceptance letter to Hogwarts, which I want to work on getting like a little crafty thing put up on the wall behind me, and I'm pretty sure that's going to go on there. And then Freckled Whimsy gave a discount code to use in her Etsy shop. And with the code, let me show you this side. With the code, we got little stitch markers. So I may have to go look through her shop and see if there's a bag that I like, because I hear about her bags on pretty much every podcast, and I have entered into her Etsy shop before, and she has some really nice bags. So I have a birthday coming up and Christmas is coming up, so that might possibly be on the list of things Amanda wants. Because I am a super nice wife and I send my husband Amazon links or links off the website of things that I want, and 9 times out of 10 they magically appear as gifts. I just think I make it way too easy on him, but that's a-okay with me. So there is kind of the first 2 parts of my stash enhancement. The next part is going to take quite some time. So there's a group of us that hang out in the VKNs, and we hang out and pretty much chat 24/7 because we're a little obsessed like that. And we put together a swap between all of us. And I know if you watch the Canadian Knitter or Two Tangled Skeins, you've already seen, or the Cat Lady, I believe you've already seen their packages. And so I was finally able to pick up mine from the post office because my post office decided, well, not my post office, the mail carrier decided that leaving a package on my front porch was not a safe location, which they've done 5 million times before since I've lived here. I've never had them hold a package at the post office. UPS leaves packages on my front porch all the time. My post office did not. And my post office has the craziest hours. They're only open like 4 hours a day during the week, and they are open for exactly 1 hour on Saturday. So Saturday I set my alarm, and everyone was kind of busy this weekend, and there's a lot going on. We had a local festival going on, and so we weren't able to get together for knit group because everyone kind of had their own thing going on this weekend. But I still set my alarm because the post office was only going to be open from 10 until 11, and by golly, I was going to be there. So I got up and went to the post office, and I got my swap package. My swap person that I received a package from was Sue from the Two Tangled Skeins, and I am speechless about the things that I received. I'm not going to show this in any kind of order because she was amazing at playing Tetris, and when I opened the box, I couldn't get it to all go back in the box. So I'm just going to kind of go from the top of the box and go down. So the first thing that was on top is, because y'all know I have gotten into cross stitching quite a bit here recently, and I showed you my crazy pattern, the panda that I want to work on. But she also got me this pattern that says do or do not, there is no try, and it's Yoda's little head. Yoda is my Star Wars husband, if you don't know. I'm absolutely in love with him. And then she also got me a minder from Lindy Stitches. It says, judge me by my size, do you? And of course it has little Yoda on it. Let me go this way and see. That is absolutely adorable. I'm pretty sure this is, I'm not the only one that received a Lindy Stitches needle minder. Rachel from Love Knots ordered one herself. Sue ordered one for herself, and I believe Sarah the Canadian Knitter also has one. And I think she got one for the Cat Lady. So it was just kind of funny because one person, I think Sarah was the one that found them. I'm pretty sure. And then like the entire circle now ended up with one because she's amazing. Let me take, and it's really cool because I'm pretty sure that she uses like a rare earth magnet, so it is incredibly strong. But if you guys want to go out and see her, she is Lindy Stitches on Etsy. So be sure to go check out her stuff because it's awesome. So I'm gonna put that back on here and we'll just start a stack. So then my next thing I got was the mesh bags in 3 different sizes. So I love anything that deals with organizing. So yay for more bags because you can never have too many. And I'm going to move these to the side because I am going to save those for the last because they're awesome. So Sue made little puppy treats for my doggies. She was making them for her dog, so she included some in mine. And on the VKN last night when I opened my package, because that was the stipulation, is we had to be on a VKN so the other person could, the person who sent you the package could watch you open it. So Gizzy was in the room with me, so I gave him a treat and he ran off with it because he liked it and he didn't want me taking it away from him. So the next thing was she sent me more maple cookies. I love these things, and apparently so does my husband because he likes to steal them from me and eat them all. So this package is going to stay hidden. See? Hidden under yarn now. He'll never see them. Alright. So the next thing is she sent me caramel corn. I can't read the stuff that's above it because it's not in English. She said she bought these in Quebec, and this is made in Canada. And so since it was made in Quebec, it's all in, well, it's partly in French and partly in Canada. What am I saying? It's partly, half of it's in French, half of it's in English. I apologize for cold head. So I have yummies to eat. Speaking of yummies, she also sent me Godiva chocolate, which she was pretty smart because she put this in the box, frozen. That way hopefully it would stay cool all the way, and it is still firm when it got to me, so there wasn't a chocolate mess everywhere. Let's see, I got more minis for my Hexie Puff blanket, which I've kind of been a slacker on making those lately. There's some very pretty colors, so I will add those to my mini bag. And Lynn chipped in a few things in my package. So I have lime green duct tape with little sheeps, and every once in a while there's a little black sheep, which I think is adorable. So now I have to figure out what I want to use my duct tape on. And I got a fluffy notebook, which is super cute, and it's very, very fluffy. So we have that going on. Since the doggies got treats, the kitties got toys, and now that I've showed these on the podcast, I can actually give them to the cats, because I knew if I gave them to them before, they were going to run off with them and they would never be seen again. So then, the most amazing yarn that I have ever seen, this is Juliana's Fiber, which she is a Canadian dyer that Lynn and Sue talk about all the time. It's the Iris colorway. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. It's 435 yards. So, and I think we talked that I'm going to make fingerless gloves out of these. And let me go digging. And since those are going to be fingerless gloves, I also got these cute little buttons. You can, this one right here below my finger is panda buttons. So when I make the fingerless gloves, I'm going to put panda buttons down the arm. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I also got some pencils, which, panda pencil. This pencil will never be used. It's going to sit on my desk and look pretty. I may possibly use these, but they're also really cute. I have a fox and a monkey pencil. And let's see. I'm trying to gather all the little things together so I can show you at once. I got some washi tape, which is adorable. I have little fruits cupcakes. And then I have to show you this one because it's panda washi tape. Yes. Can y'all tell I have a slight obsession? Yeah. They're everywhere. And then I got some chocolates, which are the little loony dollars. I ate one of these last night, but I still have a couple. I may actually share those with my husband if he's nice. And then, oops, sorry, still digging. Got some more candy and a Winnie the Pooh lip smacker, which Winnie the Pooh is my favorite Disney thing. So that was awesome. And then everyone knows me oh so well. So Trader Joe's green tea infused mints. I believe this is now my 5th container, but that is a-okay because these things are the bomb. And I have a package at work, a package stays in my purse, I have a package on the coffee table. So anywhere I'm at, I have my mints because, yeah, I may be slightly addicted to them. And these were super adorable. And these will be going to work with me tomorrow because they will join my other panda family that lives on my desk at work. So have a little baby panda and then panda eating bamboo. So those we're going to sit over here because they are going to work tomorrow. And then of course you can never have too many panda stickers, and they're puffy. So those are cool. I need to try to figure out what I want to put those on. And you can never have too many Post-it notes. And these will fit in my planners, though they're going to go live there. But you can also use them for knitting patterns too. And Sue made me stitch markers. Like I told you guys, I'm speechless about everything that I received. So teal is my favorite color, so there are her snagless stitch marker with the bead, and it's teal, if you guys can see that, with a panda head, which they're cute. So I have 5 of those that she made me. Maybe they can go back in the bag so I don't lose them. And then these last 2 kind of go together. So I've never had David's tea because we don't have it around here. So she got me relaxing teas because she knows I'm not supposed to have caffeine. So all of these are caffeine free. And I cannot wait until I can smell them because I'm sure they smell amazing. But in here we've got a couple different teas of like peppermint, lemongrass, and valerian root. And there was one I was looking at that was going to be the first one that I tried. And I'm trying to remember. Oh, the lavender and strawberry. That's going to be the first one that I try. And once I finish the teas, then I can use them as stitch marker containers because they're the perfect size. So, and this is also, I think, only the 2nd time I've had loose leaf tea because Mandy sent me the blooming pineapple tea, which was amazing. But that didn't have to go in anything because it just kind of bloomed as a flower. So she also got me a little tea infuser for the loose leaf tea. And the little teacup on it, if you guys can see, has teal on it. So, alright, popping back in for just a second because I was going to save the best of my package for last. And I totally forgot because it wasn't sitting in the box. So I wanted to pop back in and show you the creme de la creme of my swap package. So Sue also made me this adorable one of her wee bags, which is absolutely adorable. And you will realize the fabric is similar because Mandy Pinecone made me a Notions pouch out of this fabric. And when I saw it, I was super excited. And she's like, oh, I don't have any more fabric left. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, I can't find any more. And I'm like, well, I'll be a big girl and suck it up because I wanted a bag out of it. Well, needless to say, Mandy didn't have any of the fabric left because she had mailed it to Canada. So I have the wee bag with awesome little pandas on it. And that's not all. I have a sweater size bag. of Sue's knot bag. Let me see if I can fit it in there. Of the same fabric. And then, that's not all. I have another panda bag that Sue made, and these are her sweater size knot bags. And I love these because the handle goes right through and you can slip it right on your arm. So I now have all sizes of Sue's bag, and this one is her, like, I believe it's the shawl, no, her sock size, possibly. It's the middle bag between her wee bag and the sweater bag. But this one goes to work with me every day, and so I can just carry it out to lunch on my arm, and I absolutely love it. So sorry, Sue, for forgetting, but I wanted to pop back in, so I'm going to now return you to regular programming. So that was my amazing swap package from Sue, because she is absolutely amazing. And I sent a package to Rachel, who is Love Knots, and she gets to pick it up today, so I'm hoping we get to VKN tonight, and so I get to watch her open her package. And I'm sure she will eventually record soon. She hasn't recorded in a little while, so I'm sure she's got one coming up here before too long. So I think that kind of wraps up all of the knitting chatting. One other thing I did want to mention is I still have not been contacted by the winner of the 100 member giveaway that I drew on the last podcast. I'm giving the winner 30 days from the time that podcast went live to contact me. So if you haven't watched my last podcast and you entered, make sure you go back and watch the podcast and see if it was you. And if it was you, contact me so I can send out your prize. But if I do not hear from that person from 30 days, at the job I actually have a real lunch break. I have never had a job that has had an actual quote-unquote lunch break because I am hourly, so I have to clock out, and that gives me a full hour. And we have a little picnic area behind our building, so I clock out, I go sit outside, eat my lunch, and then whatever time I have left, I spend it knitting. So that is quite fantastic because I get knitting in every day at work while I'm on break, and then I come home and I knit some more, and it's pretty fantastic. Let's see, my mom was here last time that I recorded. I did have to send her home the next day. I can't wait until she can come back and visit again. I'm hoping for the holidays we can try to work something out, but being I'm so new at this job, I don't have any time off, and the company that I work for is open year round, and so they never close. So I only have Thanksgiving Day off and Christmas Day. So I work all the other days around there since I'm new and I don't have any, time off for the holidays. So a little bummed about that, but it's okay. The job totally makes up for it. Had a fantastic visit with my mom and my dad. He played on the computer a lot. And with my mom, we sat and watched TV and chatted, and we did a whole lot of knitting. So I got quite a bit done while she was here. She got a couple projects done, which you saw when we recorded last time. She has been whipping out dishcloths and pot holders right and left. I'm going to try to get a booth together for the holiday season, because I know people like handmade stuff for Christmas. So I am looking, I know we have a local one coming up. I just haven't seen any information on it. So I will be looking into that. And once I find out information and if I see if I can be a vendor, I will let y'all know. So if you're local, maybe you can swing by and come see me. But other life stuff, it's just kind of in life, transitioning into a new job completely takes it out of me. I mean, it's not a hard job, it's my passion, it's what I love to do, so that part's not hard. But just going into a new company and having to learn the company culture and new coworkers and just kind of new processes to handle everything, that does take a ton of brain power. And that's caused me to frog some things, which I didn't talk about earlier and I totally meant to, but I'm winging this and I didn't write show notes. I'd been working on the orchid cowl, and I'm pretty sure I showed you guys that last time. Yeah, that got frogged. I tried working on that earlier this week, being on cold medicine, which was not a very good idea. Do not knit lace when you're on cold medicine. So that has been frogged. I really want that cowl, so I wound up the yarn. The needles are still in the bag. When I'm not sick, I will cast it back on. Because I really do want that cowl because it is absolutely gorgeous. But other life things, I really haven't been doing a whole lot. I've got knit group. I pull into the front of the restaurant because it's a little tea shop restaurant area, and they already know my order. I go in and I have hot tea and potato fritters. So my potato fritters are already in the fryer by the time I make it into the building, which is pretty amazing. The tea is sitting on the table pretty much by the time I sit down. So I love that. I never in my life thought I would be a regular somewhere where I could walk in the door and they knew absolutely what I was going to order. So that's kind of cool. I'm trying to think. You know, I've just really spent a whole lot of time on the couch knitting, and this last week I've done a whole lot of sleeping. I do get to sleep in a little bit because my new job is a typical 8 to 5. So I'm not having to get up at 5:30, which is fantastic. It is much closer to my home. So I have, even when I have to deal with traffic, it's still only about a 30 to 35 minute commute, which that was the typical commute to my last job without traffic. And 9 times out of 10, I dealt with traffic on a daily basis, so it would take me 45 minutes to an hour to get to my last job. So I'm absolutely loving the shorter commute. This past week, Rainey and I have been commuting together. I guess that would be carpooling. See, words are just not working. Our truck is having some issues with the ball joints, and I believe the tie rod is what it's called. I don't know. The mechanic said that the tie rod thingy-majig was about to fall out. So, yeah. Truck's not quite drivable right now because if we drive it too much, there is a very high chance for that tie rod to come out of the axle and cause a wreck. And then we not only have to fix the truck from it wrecking, we'd have to rebuild the entire axle and all that stuff. So we have an appointment. Randy called last Monday, but unfortunately our appointment's not until the 16th. So for 2 weeks, yeah, tons of carpooling going to be happening. But he's okay with that. He's got enough work to keep him busy. So we both get off at 5, but by the time I make it to him, it's about 5:30. But that's okay. I haven't really been doing much sewing. I just haven't really felt up to sitting in here at the sewing machine lately. But there are a ton of fabric up in my Etsy shop if you guys want to look through the fabric. I have it set to where you can choose the size of bag you want, so all the bags are made to order. I do have 5 Halloween fabrics, so Halloween's coming up, so if you want to grab a bag, I would be honored. I think that kind of brings it to the end because my life is really not that exciting right now. My throat's really starting to hurt, so I am gonna go make some hot tea. So with that, I'm gonna say keep on stitching, y'all.